Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy? Sports and Fitness Rants. I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, man. Got another great video for you guys today. As usual, you guys know the deal on this channel. It's all about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives, stopping them from rewriting history, guys. And in this video, we're going to talk about that plus minus for LeBron James and how he made an All-NBA second team this year with a negative plus minus. Now, I told you guys that I was curious to know if LeBron James was the only player, in history to make an All-NBA second team having a negative plus minus. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I went and did the numbers. I did the research for you guys. I did it. And what I found is disturbing. And once again, LeBron James is the only player, guys, in the last 20 years to make an All-NBA team, first or second, and have a negative plus minus, guys. The only player in 20 seasons, guys, LeBron James. I did the numbers. I looked into all it, guys. This is the facts, man. And we're talking about this video. And I want to thank you guys, everyone across the world, everyone across the states has been supporting my channel. Once again, guys, I am truly, truly humbled, man. It really means a lot to all you guys out there to come out and comment. Like I said, share my videos. You guys send me emails and messages. Like I said, I always try to get back to you guys as soon as I can. I know sometimes it takes a little bit of a time for me to get back to you guys. So please forgive me, man. It's not that I don't appreciate guys or I'm ignoring you guys. Nothing like that. I am truly, truly appreciative for all support, man. Everybody in the membership, real recognize real, man. Thank you very much to all you guys. And you guys know what to do, man. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, like I said, man, a brief video on the plus minus LeBron James All-NBA second team, guys. And I told you guys in the video that I did, when we were talking about LeBron James making All-NBA second team, and we're like, how the hell did this man make an All-NBA second team? I mean, besides the plus minus, just not even thinking about that right now. If we watch the on-court game, if we talk about the impact or lack of, how the hell is LeBron James an All-NBA second-team performer this season? I don't see it, guys. Not when you're walking up and down the court that often, not making the cross half court, load managing for no reason, just standing around doing nothing on defense. I mean, the man doesn't even play help defense. He'll watch a guy drive right down the lane. He'll just stand there. You guys have seen it. Once again, shout out to my man Uncut Hoops. Shout out to my man AOH. These guys who put the video footage out there for us to look at and verify everything that I'm saying to you. LeBron James standing around with hands on hips like this. How he plays defense. You will literally watch him. How many times you see LeBron James standing there, his man makes a cut behind his head, scores a basket, and LeBron James look at teammates. That guy's All-NBA second team. We don't understand how this is. It doesn't make any sense if they were being for real, right? And they want to keep the integrity of the game and be honest and respect the league's history. There's no way you could have made LeBron James or argue LeBron James was a second All-NBA team performer, man. There was just no way to do this. But I sent that video, and I was curious to know, was LeBron James the only player in NBA's history to make an All-NBA second team and have a negative plus minus during the season? Well, ladies and gentlemen, now, as far back as I could go, I went back as far as I could go. I could tell they have only been keeping the plus minus stat since 1997. I mean, as far as what I could find. I'm not a researcher, guys. Trust me, I'm not even into this research like that. How many times do I tell you guys I don't write stuff down or pre-record none of this stuff? So the research is not my expertise. All right? So, but as far back as I could have gone, guys, was 1997 from what I've saw, plus minus. Okay? Once again, now, this is not to say that there's no way that you can find out a plus minus, or they did. I'm not saying they didn't track this stuff, but from the records that I looked at, I was able to go back to 1997 season. To me, that was good enough. That was good enough. So I did the research, guys, and I did the plus minuses for all the NBA first teams and the All-NBA second teams from 1997, guys, to now. All right? And what I found is that LeBron James is the only player in the last 20 seasons to make an All-NBA second team or first team with a negative plus minus. And LeBron James is only the second player in the last, since 97, guys, since I was able to go back. So you're talking about almost 30 years now. LeBron James is only the second player in 30 seasons to make an All-NBA second team or better with a negative plus minus, guys. Now, the only other player that I could find, guys, that made an All-NBA second team or better with a negative plus minus since 1997, guys, was Tracy McGrady. And I said this in one of the live streams, I don't know if it was last Sunday or the Sunday before. And I told you guys, when I did the research where I was at up until that point, the only play that I had seen was Tracy McGrady in the 2004 NBA season, playing for the Orlando Magic that went 21-61 that season, guys. They won 21 games, and Tracy McGrady led the league in scoring that season. I believe he played 67 games that year. I could be wrong about that. Played about 67, maybe 65 games that year. Averaged, I believe, 28 points per game, which was first in the NBA. Remember, this is the early 2000s. Remember the late 90s, early 2000s, scores were regularly in the 80s and in the 90s. So to average 28, almost 30 points a game at that time was remarkable. Like I said, especially like I said, when you think about, the team that Tracy McGrady was on. Now, let's understand something here. Tracy McGrady was the best player on the Orlando Magic. He wasn't playing with an Anthony Davis. He wasn't playing with a Luka Doncic. There was no one else that he played with on that team that was on that level. That's number one. So let's understand the number one. Number two, this is basically peak Tracy McGrady right now in 04. This is not the best version of Tracy McGrady, but this is Tracy McGrady on the rise right here. Like I said, leading the league in scoring, one of the top players in the league. He was on a crap team though, but he was a very good player at that time. Like I said, one of the top players in PER, let's say led the league in scoring, was just one of the top players in the league that season. He didn't have a lot of help on that team. That team wasn't good. They were crappy. And he was on a crap team, and that's why he's a negative plus minus, but he was an all-NBA performer because of the season that he had individually was still really, really good. Yes, we understand that Tracy McGrady was putting up these numbers on a bad team, but like I mentioned, who was his teammates? When we compare to LeBron James this year, like I said, he's the only player, guys, in the last 20 seasons to make an All-NBA team second or first with a negative plus minus. The difference being, go look what Luka Doncic's plus minus was. I think I might have wrote that down. What Luka Doncic's plus minus was when he played this season with LeBron James. Let me check my notes. I wrote this down for this video. Luka Doncic played 28 games for the Lakers this season, guys. 20 games for the Lakers. You know what his plus minus was? Plus 176. So when we talk about Luka Doncic coming to the Lakers, to help save LeBron James, essentially, what was LeBron James plus minus before Luka Doncic got there? And remember, he was playing with Anthony Davis all season. So Anthony Davis, I believe his plus minus on the Lakers, I believe was like plus 60 or something like that when he was on the Lakers. So remember, I told you guys, despite LeBron James doing all this stuff, lollygagging, not getting back on D, tucking up all these shots, right? Just playing that crap level of game, even though he was doing that, sabotaging these guys, Anthony Davis, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, D'Angelo Russell before he was traded. All of these guys had to carry LeBron James, and they were winning games despite LeBron James' negative. Remember, he was like a negative 180 at one point. Despite that. So like I told you, when Luka Doncic came to the team, he continued to carry LeBron James. A plus 176 in 28 games for the Lakers, Luka Doncic. LeBron James, 70 games played, negative 54 or 56, whatever he was. And like I said, the only reason why it was only negative 54, not a negative 100 and something, because Luka Doncic came there. Tracy McGrady was the best player on the team. Wasn't playing with anyone like a Luka Doncic, anyone like an Anthony Davis on that Orlando Magic team. So, of all the seasons I looked at, all the All-NBA teams, first and second from 1997, guys, LeBron James is the only player other than Tracy McGrady in 04 to make an All-NBA team, second or first, with a negative plus minus, guys. And like I said, Tracy McGrady was the best player on his team, and he did not have assistance from guys like Anthony Davis or Luka Doncic. So once again, we have to understand these kinds of things. Tracy McGrady was, like I said, going towards his peak at this time in 04. So Tracy McGrady is one of the best, one of the really good players in the league. For people to still try to promote LeBron James as a top 10 player in the league still, because essentially, LeBron James being on the All-NBA second team, that's essentially what you're saying, is that LeBron James is, say, a top 10 player in the league. Now, we know according to Kenny J. Smith, he's number 2. We know according to ESPN, he's still number 7. But according to the facts, to the video footage, to the numbers, the impact, everything combined, he's not a top 10 player in the league. And like I said, if you're claiming that LeBron James is a top 10 player in the league based off of what he did, then that says the league is weak. That's how weak the league is. Because LeBron James is not a top 10 player this season in the 90s, in the 80s, in the 2000s. He's not going to be a top 10 All-NBA first team, All-NBA second team performer based off of what he did. He wouldn't have done that. And like I said, Anthony Davis missed some games. We get that. Luka Doncic missed some games. To me, these guys are better players than LeBron James right now. But because of LeBron James' era, they were not qualified for All-NBA honors. How many All-NBA teams has LeBron James made in his career, guys, playing under the 65-game minimum? Go look into it, guys. I want to say it's at least 3 or 4 seasons that LeBron James made All-NBA teams playing under the 65-game minimum. Now, we get it. They didn't have the minimum at the time, but this is what we're talking about, guys. Right? This is the problem for these guys in the league right now. So, over the last 20 seasons, guys, LeBron James is the only player to make an All-NBA second team or better with a negative plus-minus. Think about that. I mean, guys, there are names on this list. Jimmy Butler, Joakim Noah, DeMarcus Cousins was playing for the crappy Sacramento Kings. He didn't have a negative plus-minus. DeMar DeRozan on the Bulls didn't have a negative plus-minus. Who else? Anthony Edwards, Jalen Brunson. Who else? Paul George didn't have a negative plus-minus. Who else that I see here? Damian Lillard on the Trailblazers didn't have a negative plus-minus. Anthony Davis, before he came to the Lakers, was all NBA teams, didn't have a negative plus-minus on New Orleans. So, I mean, it's Kawhi Leonard on the Raptors didn't have a negative plus-minus. Kawhi Leonard, when he played for the Clippers, didn't have a negative plus-minus. Even though he was load managing his butt off, still positive. Russell Westbrook, the first year without Kevin Durant, right? Kevin Durant left them high and dry to the 2016 season. Russell Westbrook came out 2017, won an MVP. He didn't even have a negative plus-minus. That's without Kevin Durant. He was the best player on that team. Lead those guys. Everyone, he left them. Didn't have a negative plus-minus. In 2018, the second year without Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook didn't have a negative plus-minus. So when you look at Kyrie Irving on the Boston Celtics, guys, 2019, didn't have a negative plus-minus. Who else here? Chris Paul, Tony Parker in 2013, Marc Gasol in 2015, didn't even have a negative plus-minus. Who else we got here? LaMarcus Aldridge. I'm just trying to think of some of these names that you forgot. Draymond Green didn't have a negative plus-minus, and the only All-NBA team he ever made. Amari Stoudemire, Brandon Roy. Some of these names that you haven't heard in a while, that you don't remember, that were on these. Derrick Rose. Kevin Love, right? Before he even came to play with LeBron James in Cleveland, dude had a plus playing on the Minnesota Timberwolves that weren't really in a good team. But Kevin Love was a good player. He didn't even have a negative plus-minus on that Minnesota Timberwolves team, guys. Who else we got here? I mean, if you just look at some of these things here, let me go back to some of the earlier years that I wrote down. Forgive me, sorry, guys. You know I don't normally do this kind of stuff, but I wanted to let you guys know some of these names of these guys that that came up, man. Because, like I said, I went all the way back to 2000 or 97, excuse me, on this list to check some of these names out. And now I can't even find my damn list here, man. Here we go. So yeah, so I went back 2000, Vince Carter, right? On the Raptors, 2001, didn't have a negative plus-minus, right? Grant Hill, Jason Kidd. Even when Jason Kidd was on the Nets, didn't have a negative plus-minus. Because once again, these are great players. I'm looking at these names, guys. It's just Ben Wallace didn't have a negative plus-minus. Chris Webber, Jermaine O'Neal, Sam Cassell. You guys probably remember Sam Cassell. I believe this was when he was on the Minnesota Timberwolves, the 04 season. Sam Cassell. So like I said, that 04 season, only Tracy McGrady, guys. The only person. But I believe Tracy McGrady was, I want to say he was third in PR that season. He was second in usage that season, I believe. I'm trying to remember. But he was in the top of a lot of these things, man. It was on a crap team. So yeah, as you guys can see here, man, Elton Brand. You guys remember Elton Brand, All NBA in 2006. He didn't even have a negative plus-minus. So there was a lot of guys here, man, on these lists. And LeBron James, the only player in the last 20 seasons to make an All-NBA second team or better with a negative plus-minus, guys. And it's highlighted even more for LeBron James because LeBron James is being promoted as the greatest player of all time, or at least right behind Michael Jordan #2. And they love talking about the longevity. They love talking about the numbers for LeBron James. The numbers. The numbers are the only reason that LeBron James is on the All-NBA team right now, because the impact's not there. He was never the best player on his team. At least Tracy McGrady can say he was the best player on his team all season long. He had to carry that team, lead that team that didn't have a lot of talent on. They just weren't a good team. LeBron James can't say that. He has good talent around him, good solid role players, and he had played with great players. Anthony Davis was an MVP candidate, and Luka Doncic is an All-NBA first-team performer every single year, guys. One of the best players in the league. That's what LeBron James had on his team. But LeBron James had a negative plus minus, even though he played with those guys. Even though the Lakers won 50 games this season. And I think I heard Tua Ross say in one of his videos the other day, because he did a video on this also, I think it was yesterday, the day before. He said that LeBron James is the only player in NBA's history to make an All-NBA second team with a negative plus minus on a team that won at least 50 games. So think about that. Tracy McGrady's team won 21 games that year, guys. 21 games. LeBron James' team won 50 games. You think that was because of LeBron James? No. It's because of the team that he was on and the leaders that he had. Anthony Davis leading them. What? Luka Doncic leading him. That's the facts, ladies and gentlemen. Not to mention all the foul calls that his team gets in his favor, right? The free throws that they get. How LeBron James is allowed to carry and travel up. Did Tracy McGrady get allowed to play the game that way? I don't remember. I don't think so. But LeBron James is, and still have a negative impact on the court, guys. That's insane. I don't think Tracy McGrady stood around the defensive end that way in 2004, the way LeBron James was all season long. But he made All-NBA second team somehow. It's not a coincidence, guys, that LeBron James is the only player to done this in all these years. This is another way to highlight LeBron James being lifted up and propped up by the NBA, guys, but not the actual facts. More lies and narratives. You guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.